Peggy and I had a show on Christian broadcasting, and one of our favorite guests was Beverly Nye. On this particular show, she demonstrated how easy it is to pickle vegetables. Yum, yum, right up my low-carb alley.
I'm going to show you a recipe today you can't fail with. It's my Grandma Shell's Farm Relish. Oh, it's so good. Now, these vegetables are always in season, so you don't have to worry about it costing you a lot. You want 1 head of cauliflower, nice pieces cut up, 1 pound of carrots, some green pepper, maybe 2 or 3, some onion, 2 or 3, and a bunch of celery. And cut it all in nice bite-sized pieces. And then I just put it in a bowl and kind of fluffy do it together till it's all well mixed. And I do mine in the little jam-sized jars again because that's just right for my husband and I now that all the kids are gone. So take your jar, and into your jar you're going to put 1 little hot red pepper. Now this gives it that good bite, and you want that. Ooh, it's so good along with things.
Those are in like a produce department?
Yeah, you can get them in little cellophane bags, and you just drop 1 hot pepper in there. And then we have to make a brine. Now in our pot, I've got 2 quarts of water, and we're going to add 1 quart of the white vinegar and 3/4 of a cup of pickling salt. You want to dump that in?
You use white vinegar.
Right. The reason we use white vinegar is that won't discolor your vegetables. In all my other pickles and whatever, I use right in there. And we just stir that up till it dissolves and bring it to a good rolling boil. Now that's important. We want the nice cider vinegar because it's white, the vegetables stay clear, but as I said, in all the other pickles, always use the brown cider vinegar. You get a good flavor that way.
Okay.
But this way, we don't want a lot of flavor from the vinegar. We've got the pickling and the hot pepper in there that's going to flavor that. The reason we had you use the pickling salt is that that doesn't have an anti-caking agent. Now, when you buy a box of salt at the grocery store, it's got an agent in it that keeps it from getting to a hard lump, you know, and it stays free-flowing. Well, pickling salt doesn't have that. It's also not iodized, so that way you're not going to have any cloudiness in the brine. Now we'll take a little jar. Whoops, we are got a pepper in here. We'll start here, and just fill your vegetables up into the jar. And after you get a bunch in, if you give it a little shake, then that kind of settles them down. And your pepper's in the bottom. Now, if you see some red peppers, instead of all green, you might use some red, and that adds some pretty color.
To the top.
Right. Now, after our jar is full, we're going to take our boiling liquid, and make sure that's boiling. That's crucial when you can. You'll dip that into there, and after you put the boiling liquid in, your little flats for your lids should always be sitting in hot boiling water. And by the way, when you put your flats into the pan, well, let's just show the audience here. You got the rubber ring. Yeah. And then you got the flat side. So alternate them in your pan. That way you won't have 2 sticking together and you can't pull them apart.
Right. Okay.
Right.
Did you sterilize that?
I run them through the dishwasher. If you got a dishwasher, you're okay. If you're just washing your dishes in the sink, they should be at least scalded with your tea kettle. Okay. So lift your hot lids out. Put those on after you've put the boiling liquid in. Put your lid on, and then screw your ring on and screw it on as tight as you can get it. Then we're going to lower them down into our canner. And again, have that boiling. Have your water boiling. Lower the jars down in there, and once they get down in there, you don't have to wait till it to start to boil, but start timing for 10 minutes. As soon as you put them in there. Now for pickles, you start timing the minute you put it in. So you lower your jars down in, set your timer for 10 minutes, lift them out, set them over on the counter on a towel. That's all there is to it. Now be sure you check your jars. Can you see how that's
dented in kind of?
Right, and then you know it's sealed. That's all there is to it. And stick them on your shelf.